Welcome to another As-Is Guide to WvW Basics. This is part of our Basics series, and today we wanted to cover how to get into WvW and what are some things to consider about when you should get into WvW, like what level you should be, and also some things you should do before you go into WvW. So to start off, let's look at how you get into WvW. And kill the MOA now. One of the most simplest ways of getting in is just to bring up the WvW score. I think it's B or N. I think it's B. But if you press the Go to WvW on the top, it'll show you which of the maps that you could go to. And here, for example, we go into Eternal Battlegrounds. The other way is to take the sewer gates in Lion's Arch. And as you see here, we jump through the gates. In Lion's Arch, the sewer gates are located on the bottom of the map. And as you can see here, it's located at Fort Mariners, and here's the waypoint. And out of the 5 Asura gates, the 4 on the right side take you to the 4 WvW map, while the one on the left takes you to the Heart of the Mist, which is the structured PvP lobby. But we're in the 4 will take you to the Homelands and the 4 Borderlands and the Eternal Battlegrounds. Meanwhile, you could also go to the 5 starting racial areas by popping up to this waypoint, and it'll take you to one of these 5 Asura gates, which will lead you to one of the 5 racial starting areas, which is kind of cool. So you could always use Lion's Gate as a Asura gate hub. Now, before you enter WvW, I really want you to consider unlocking some weapon skills before you enter. The main reason why is if you're running in with just your number 1 attack power, you might feel kind of useless, especially with your starter weapon, which usually is a melee weapon. And, you know, it kind of sucks for you to run up to things and just pound them like this. So I want you to unlock some weapon skills, like what just happened here. Go in to your PvP tutorial area and just kill stuff. Kill, because it's unlocked by the amount of kills you get. The more kills you get, the quicker you unlock your powers. It's harder to kill things in WvW than it is in the PvE zones, because the PvE mobs are meant to die quicker. And, you know, it helps speeds things up. One other thing I want you to consider is purchasing a ranged weapon or all your weapons. So for instance, here we go to a weapon vendor, which is actually located in WvW, but you could buy it in your PvE areas. Go and look for weapons that you can use. So anything that says red, not for your profession, you can't use it. But buy up, say, like stuff that you can use, like a bow or rifle or whatever that's ranged, or other weapons. And it's going to be helpful because, you know, you could unlock them while you're doing WvW, or you can unlock more of them in PvE. Range will help you a lot. Another thing you can do is go to an outfitter and buy gathering tools. This will be helpful because there are resource nodes throughout WvW, and it's, you know, useful to grab them. So it's up to you what level you want to enter WvW. What I will do, though, is show you at what level you get what kind of powers. Some people want to go in at level 30, some at level 7, some at level 10. So at level 5, you unlock your first utility power, which is your number 7 on your keyboard. Level 7, you unlock weapon swap, which is the little squiggly line to the left of the number 1 key. This allows you to switch between 2 weapon sets during combat. Otherwise, you could always switch your weapons when you're out of combat. This does not apply to engineers and elementalists because they have their own huge array of weapons that they could swap during combat. Level 10 unlocks your second utility. Level 11 unlocks traits tier 1, which is the added trait level tier. This you need to purchase in order to like fully equip it from a PvE vendor. I would go to Lion's Arch and look around for them. You can also find them in your racial starting areas. I do not believe these guys are in the WvW areas. They do have like traits trainers there, but what they do is they reset your traits, and you're just wasting your money if you try to purchase them at level 11 to try to buy traits. Level 15, and you get one trait per level starting from level 11. So at level 15, what you get is 5 traits, and potentially you could purchase or unlock your first minor trait, and I'll go into that in a little bit. Level 20, you unlock your third utility. Level 30 is your elite, number 10 on your keyboard that you unlock, and I would probably re-keybind these. That's up to you. Level 40 and 60, I think, and I could be totally wrong, you unlock tier 2 and tier 3 of the traits, and I'll show you that in a little bit. I'm not guaranteed that these are the levels that unlock the master tier and the grandmaster tier, and I'm also not sure if you get a free reset for these traits at those levels, and we shall, you know, don't blame me if I'm wrong. I'm just doing this for free. So this is a skill builders application that you could find online. I'll put a link below. I really like this one. I just found it recently. I don't know where I was this whole time, but I really like it. And so just using this chart or this application will kind of reiterate everything we just talked about. So I'm gonna, for this example, be a thief, dagger, dagger, pistol, pistol, and to start off again, you unlock your weapon skills here by killing mobs. Usually you start the game with only one weapon, and that's why I recommend going to the vendor and buying a second one or more once you are at the point where you get to the vendors and you have a little bit of money. Usually after like level 1 or 2, you should have enough money to buy at least a second weapon, and I'd buy a third or fourth. So once your weapon skills are kind of filled up, I would switch weapons. Your healing utility, you always have it unlocked right off the bat. You get one free heal. To purchase additional heals, you would have to use your sub slot skills or your skill points, and I'll show you that in a little bit. First utility unlocks at level 5, level 10, level 20, and your elites unlock at level 30. Your weapon swap, you get this at level 7, and of course every time you use it, it kind of resets, or you have a cooldown whenever you use it, so you can't keep switching it back and forth like this. And of course your utilities, you could change them when you're out of combat. So say, I'm doing hide and shadows, and we're about to tank a boss or something, I'll switch to Signet Malice. Let's beat up on the Lord Keep because this is my tanking, heal power. Or I have my venom up. Screw the venom. I want Scorpion Wire. I do come over here and I stab someone off a wall or something. So you could switch these when you're out of combat, much like how you could switch weapons when you're out of combat. But you also have this weapon swap, which you could do it while you're in combat. Okay, let's go to traits. Whoa, okay, I totally. For traits, you get one trait at level 1. I mean 11, not 1, and 1 point thereafter. So at 15 points, you can unlock potentially a minor trait. So these are the different trait trees. And someone else probably has a video that has a lot more detail about this, so I'll just do this really quick. At 5 points into a tree, you unlock the first minor trait. And these are set in stone in the sense where you can't change them around, but you'll get them once you unlock it. At 10 points in, you get the major traits, which are these big hexagons. These you could switch when you're out of combat. So once you get this, you could go like, oh, I want power of inertia, gain might when I'm dodging, blah, blah, blah. That's great. But I want to switch it up because we're going to do something else, like fall off cliffs. So I release binding powder when you take fall. Who the hell uses this? Anyways, so you could switch up your major traits when you're out of combat. And of course, when you build up additional trees, you have the customization of your major traits between your 3 or 4 or however many trees you want to build. So that's pretty much it for this. And of course, it's locked, or it's capped at level 10 or 10 points per tree. At ADA Master, you can get up to 20 points per tree. Grandmaster, 30 points per tree. And these unlock, I think, at 40 and 60. And you have to go to the PvE bookseller dude to buy a book to become a master. So I guess that's when your character goes to college and he studies and he reads a book. I don't really know. If you want to switch your trees, you have to go to another vendor and they'll reset your trait points. And the trait points are reset by your total traits points times like X amount of silver or something. I don't really know. You'll figure it out on your own, I'm sure. Okay. I wanted to show you the Heroes tab to show you in-game application of how all this stuff works. Hero tab can be reached by pressing the H button, but I re-keybound mine to like Control H, I think. Anyways, what I'm showing here is how you switch weapons when you're out of combat. I switched the short bow out for pistol. Sorry it's taking so long. It's due to lag from stress test 6. And so, it's usually quicker than that. Here's the traits. And what I really wanted to show was the sub-slot skills, which is the skill points you have, which is right here. You get 1 skill point per level, and you can also unlock them from skill challenges throughout the map. And so what I wanted to point out especially was that there's different tiers. So right here, these are like the tier 1, utilities. The tier 2 utilities are 3 points each. The tier 3s are, I think, 6 points each. And you unlock them by buying 5 of the previous tiers. So you have to unlock 5 tier 1s in order to get tier 2. You have to unlock 5 tier 2s to get tier 3. Elite skills, I don't think you need to unlock the tier 3s to get. And they're a little bit more expensive. And I don't have enough points to buy elite skills at this point. So that's pretty much it for all this. Alright, so some people are wondering, how do I get out of World v World? You start at your spawn camp right here, and then you run to one of these Asura gates that says Lion's Arch, and you jump out of that way. You can also probably go straight to the Mist via your Heroes tab, and then port to Lion's Arch from there. So anyways, that's it for this tutorial or basics guide. I will have stuff up for supply camps next, I think, and then start moving into surviving World v World, how to navigate around the map, and just a lot of the basics of like siege and stuff coming up soon. And if you have any requests, let me know. If you have any questions, comments, corrections, put them down below. Thank you guys very much for watching, and see you next time.